Hello, this is Kevin Benedict, SMAC Analyst with Cognizant. That stands for Social Mobile Analytics and Cloud. Jeff, we're back for part 4.
Part 4, let's do it.
And you're talking with customers all day long and vendor partners and all of that. So you're in touch with the community.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to pick your brains about the future, Jeff.
Uh-oh. Go for it.
So I also have the privilege of spending a lot of time with the vendor community and others. And it seems to me that most of the vendors are starting to really emphasize cloud-based offerings. Not that that's a big part of their business yet, but they all have a checkbox and they're saying, yes, we're building out a cloud offering, or we're going to the cloud.
It's on the roadmap.
Ultimately, Jeff, I'm putting you on the spot here. Where do you see both mobile application development platforms and mobile security residing? Are they going to be on-premise, license-based apps, or do you see them ultimately, I'm not asking for a year projection,
Sure.
but sometime in the future, do you see the ultimate destination in the cloud?
I'll address each of them separately. So I'll start with the security, and in security and mobility, oftentimes you think of the MDM guys. It's much broader than that.
And that's mobile device management.
Mobile device management, not master data management. So the mobile device management folks, there's a couple of bigger names in this space. SAP has Afaria, and they have cloud hosting, I believe, now for Afaria. There's AirWatch, which is predominantly a cloud-based. There's Mobile Iron, which has been less cloud-based, more license-based. There's a few others. Cognizant ourselves have developed a solution around mobile device security that we put out into the marketplace, and we too are moving in a direction of cloud as a cloud offering. So I do think the security stuff is moving that way. I think it makes as enterprises look to get lean and efficient, that also applies to their infrastructure and the heavy load of infrastructure, and so they're happier to have kind of a cloud offering. But it's still not quite the norm for most of our enterprise clients to go in that direction. Certainly not in the public cloud direction, maybe on a private cloud. So I do think ultimately things will continue to move in the direction of the cloud. I think it makes an IT enterprise or an IT organization within an enterprise's job a little easier. And so I do think things are moving in that direction. I think MDM guys, as we're talking about, the mobile device management folks, are moving in that direction, and we're seeing a trend there, I'd say. On the platform side, I haven't seen a lot of the platform folks offering a pure cloud offering where the IDE is in the cloud, and then all of the application development takes place there, and then you can deploy it out to the different OSs and devices and users ultimately. But I do think over time, again, not having a crystal ball to say if it's 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, or longer, I do think over time things will move in that direction because, again, I believe they add efficiencies to an IT infrastructure that ultimately is going to have value both from the user's perspective, and I think the providers will follow that value. If they see value for the users, they will move in that direction. So I do think it will happen in both sides.
I've seen 2 startups, Webelo and AnyPresence, that started on the cloud side.
Yeah. And
they have interesting models. Now, they can't do everything.
Right.
But they approach it from a completely different one, which is, look, if we can connect to your back-end system, we can give you a front end in an hour, or in 4 hours, or in 5 hours that lets you access, query, and edit data. So, they're not trying to conquer the world today.
Sure.
But it's just interesting because you see the other players that try to conquer the world with their platforms, yet it's hard to do that in the cloud today.
It's a little more where you're coming from what I'd call the traditional IT perspective, where things were on a box.
Yeah.
Right? You put a box into the server farm and you can go to town. Now I think things are, we're seeing the migration, and it's a slow migration for sure, especially at the enterprise level. I think some of the outages that we've seen around AWS and some other big cloud providers have continued to create some hesitation for full Fortune 1000 to just go in droves and move to the cloud. But I think over time those things will become more secure, more stable, more mature, and I think we will see a migration towards cloud infrastructure, cloud-hosted solutions. And these mobile platform providers are absolutely going to be playing in that space, in my opinion.
It's going to be interesting, Jeff.
Definitely will, but it moves to a subscription-based model, cloud model, updates and things get done much quicker, all the benefits that cloud can offer you in terms of an application mindset, not just the infrastructure side of it.
Yeah, earlier this week, or maybe it was even last week now, I can't remember, I wrote an article where I was predicting that HTML5 is going to be, as you pointed out, is going to be increasingly used within applications as it gets better and there's better wrappers and all this kind of stuff.
Yep.
Which is going to drive a lot of efficiency, because I think mobile platform players are still looking for that economy of scale where they can be profitable and they can be innovative fast enough to be in front of the market instead of behind the market.
Absolutely.
And so HTML5, I think, is going to be a requirement because that makes everything more efficient. And just moving to a cloud environment where your updates can be invisible behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
You can be keeping up. You don't have to be distributed to 10,000 different customers. Your new version that they're going to then upload on-premise and then go through all the rigorous testing exercise and all that kind of stuff. There's got to be efficiencies in here. It's just really interesting to watch the vendors as they also struggle today.
How to get there.
How to get there
Yeah.
profitably and efficiently enough where they can turn these things into money-generating businesses.
Well, the mobile browser is only going to get better. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. So if we stipulate that the mobile browser and mobile devices will get faster, more powerful, the mobile browser itself will get better at accessing capabilities of a device, HTML5 is just beautifully suited to deal with those kinds of things.
Absolutely, because I'm going out on a limb to say, though, but almost every very interesting mobile project that I learn about and talk about is still custom.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to get economy of scale when everything's custom.
Mass customization is not a simple profit. Doesn't drive simply to profit. Exactly.
There's still a lot of struggle to get there. With that, I'm going to say thank you, Jeff.
Thanks so much, Kevin.